When a community founded on simplicity and peace is targeted by a truck driver filled with hate, a single-room school becomes a killing field. Shocking act of violence number 4, the Amish Schoolhouse Massacre. October 2nd, 2006, Nickel Mines, Pennsylvania. 32-year-old father of 3, Charles Roberts, leaves suicide notes for his wife.
Robert's suicide note actually indicated that he was angry at God for the premature death of his infant daughter, who died just shortly after birth.
He suggested that this was going to be an act of revenge.
5 minutes from his home, Roberts pulls into the gravel-covered lot outside a tiny Amish schoolhouse. Inside, 26 boys and girls, ages 6 to 13, sit at their desks. The time is 10:25 a.m.
Nobody knows why Mr. Roberts chose his particular school.
It wasn't because they were Amish. It just happened to be the close proximity, where he lived, where he could get to.
There's no security. It's easy to drive right up, and inside were the type of victims he was looking for: defenseless, young, female children.
Roberts enters the school. He scans the classroom, then leaves, only to return moments later, this time brandishing a 9mm semi-automatic weapon.
He started waving his gun around and he's like, everybody up front.
At this point, the teacher has a decision to make. She sees an opportunity to escape, so at the time that the children are being moved to the front of the classroom, she runs out the door and runs as fast as she can.
The teacher sprints for the nearest phone at a farm a quarter of a mile away. Meantime, Roberts separates the boys from the girls. He orders the boys to unload his truck.
Well, this wasn't an impulsive act. Roberts had spent a couple of weeks gathering supplies.
I believe that he planned on being there for a significant amount of time and keeping law enforcement at bay while he did whatever it was that he planned to do.
Then suddenly he said, okay, all the boys out. And then he was by himself with the girls in the classroom.
10 girls and a young teacher's aide remain. Roberts binds the girls' feet with plastic ties, boards up the windows, and barricades the door. Outside, the teacher reaches the farm and calls 911.
Our personnel were dispatched at 38 minutes after the hour, and we had people on the scene in 7 minutes. I don't believe he anticipated we would arrive that quickly. And part of the reason that we did was because the teacher made the difficult decision to go out and get help.
At 10:48 a.m., the police try to establish contact. Roberts is in no mood to talk.
He warned the police that if they didn't leave the premises or get out of the way, he was going to open fire.
Then, at 11:05, gunfire erupts.
And he just started shooting away at them, just started at the top and just shot down the row.
The troopers immediately tried to get in the school.
The police smash the windows to gain entry, but it is too late.
He sees the trooper smash out the window. At that time, Roberts turns the gun on himself, fires one round, and falls to the floor.
5 of the 10 girls die at the scene or at the hospital. The others, including the teacher's aide, somehow survive.
This whole community was really shaken up by the shooting, as the whole world was.
Over $4 million was sent in to help the families that were affected by the shooting.
The Amish used part of that money to establish a fund for the gunman's widow and their 3 children.
They extended their sympathies to her. They visited her, and they let her know that they are not harboring ill feelings toward her.
In our culture, we tend to view forgiveness as the last step in healing. The Amish do it exactly opposite, that they forgive first and then go through the healing process.
A week after the massacre, the yellow one-room school was torn down.
The demolition of the old school had happened so quick, and by noontime this thing was done, and the land that it sat on was seeded in grass.
Unless you know where the school was, you won't be able to find it. I mean, they completely took it to the ground.
On April 2nd, 2007, 6 months to the day after the attack, another Amish school opened. When we return, mayhem at a Midwestern mall.